What's up, TikTok? Just give me a second, guys. I'm just getting myself set up here. How you guys doing tonight? How did you guys do in the market today? Did you guys take any trades? Did you make any money? Hopefully you guys did. I took 2 trades. I don't know if you guys have already seen my my recap, but I posted that to TikTok. I posted it on YouTube as well, if you guys haven't already taken a look. But these are the 2 trades that I took today based off of the markings that I have on here, and we're gonna review that like we do every single night. But if this is your first time here on my live, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me tonight in this market review that we do at least twice a week. I try to target at least doing it twice a week, and really what it is, I'm just here to show you guys the trades that I took today, give a little bit of an explanation, and also give you guys the room to ask any and all questions. Why take any advice from me? Well, I like to think that I'm pretty good, at trading. I've been consistently profitable for 1.5 years now. And so I know the struggles starting out and not knowing who to ask questions from and who to learn from. Well, that's why I create the space on live so you guys can ask all the questions you may want to ask. So without further ado, let's get into the trade recap itself. So starting out on the 4-hour time frame. Price has been incredibly bullish, right? You can see price has just been on a massive rampage, moving on higher. We're actually at an all-time high. We're at an all-time high here on NASDAQ. The NASDAQ has never been this high. And I knew we were going to hit that from a while ago. Once we got a weekly candle close above this level right here, I said all-time high soon. Got that weekly close above here, and as you can see, price consolidates a bit and then skyrockets over to our target of all-time high. Now, when I came into the market, I usually wait. Let me see. There's a couple of questions. Let's see. Thoughts on VTI? I'll take a look at that after I'm done with the recap. Is there an app that explains or teaches all of this? You can find a lot of the stuff on YouTube, but if you want a specific playlist for beginners, I have one. If you want to reach out, DM me. I'll send you that. And then on top of that, I'm also doing a mentorship, a boot camp, which would teach you everything from the basic knowledge you need to even understand what we're looking at, all the way into the strategy that I use to be consistently profitable. I've been doing ICT for about 2 years now. 2.5 years. How did I get live studio with 10K followers? I just applied because I already had a presence on Twitch beforehand. So I applied. TikTok asked for my profiles for social media, so I sent them that and they approved it, and that's how I got TikTok live. I actually got it when I only had 200 followers, so go ahead and apply. Let's see. Yes, you can search it up on YouTube. Just go on Google. And look up apply for TikTok live access. ICT is the creator of the price action strategy that I use, but I don't use all of his concepts, and I use a couple things that I've added in myself. So anyway, let's get back into it. 4-hour time frame. That's where I always start out. Now, I know that the target is up here, and I need to look where we could have some sort of resistance. And the last bit that we had was this huge 4-hour imbalance right there. All right, if we ended up getting a price close above this level right here, that would then invalidate this imbalance right here, being a level of resistance for price. And then it had little to no resistance to move on up into the all-time high area. So as you can see, I had that level marked out here. Above this at 10 a.m., we continue higher. And if you've seen any of my videos, any of my lives, I usually tell you guys I wait until after 10 o'clock because this candle right here is very important. It gives us a lot of information as to where price wants to go to for the day pretty much. And so once we had that close above that level, I was looking for price to just continue moving on higher. So I needed to look for a bullish entry model. So for me, after 10 o'clock, we could even mark that out here. Let's mark that out. Where's 10 o'clock? Right there. So after 10 o'clock, I'm looking for a bullish scenario. What I like to do once price has extended so much like it has right here, I want to see price retrace down into a higher time frame imbalance, which is this 5-minute fair value gap that I have marked out here in this green box. I wanted to see price trade into that and then inverse a 1-minute imbalance here. As you can see, there was one right there. So as price consolidates around in this area, drops down, taking out this swing low and that swing low into that 5-minute fair value gap. Here we have a 1-minute imbalance. Now I did not take the trade right away after it closing up here and then retracing back into this 1-minute imbalance inversed fair value gap. I actually waited to see what it was going to end up doing, if it was going to break it or hold it. Because price was so overextended, I was being a little more cautious, especially because we had FOMC in the afternoon. So I just wanted to take it easy. I just wanted to wait for further confirmation on it. And when you see that price dropped down into that inverse fair value gap, created 2 new small imbalances. I took a look at this one right here. If we inverse that, I was going to market order in. So as you can see, once that gets inversed, the next candle over, I have my entry right there. I put my stop below this swing low right there. And then I was targeting at least a 1 to 2. But so for those of you who don't know, I also still work a 9 to 5. Okay, so I was in the middle of a meeting at work when I saw this setup, and I took it. I saw that these candles moved on up. We stalled a little bit, and I decided to just sell it all out right there because I had to continue to pay attention to my meeting. But overall, my target was that draw on liquidity. That would have been a nice 1 to 5.67 risk to reward. So for me though, I usually take off the majority of my position off at 1 to 2. So as you can see, I entered in 7 contracts. I would have sold 6 right here and held 1 runner to the draw on liquidity with my stop at break even. Would that have gotten hit at all today? Nope. Price just continued to rally on higher and higher and higher. And also then, after I got out of my meeting, I took this position here on my funded futures. When the same exact thing, 5-minute imbalance, price moves into it, sweeps this low, creates a 1-minute imbalance right there, gets inverted, I market order in, stop below the swing low, target a 1 to 2, and this one did hit my full take profit because I was able to watch it. Here at this swing high, once price moved over that, I decided to move my stop to break even, and as you can see, price never came back, touched it at all. It went right to my take profit. So overall, 2 great trades today. I mean, once the higher time frame aligns with the lower time frame, the lower time frame aligns with the higher time frame, you have such strong conviction that price will start to move into that area of liquidity that it's targeting, which is the draw on liquidity. Overall for the week, this was my target. As you can see, I have it marked out as the weekly draw on liquidity. So let me go back up into the chat. Let me see. You took the exact same entry, bro. Nice, young Steph. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Banger, AJI, bruh. I'm trying to get like you, bro. It's been a lovely week. It sure has. Bullish Bear, thank you so much for the gift. I don't even know what that is, but thank you. Thank you. What am I thinking on tomorrow? So tomorrow should be interesting, right? We've had such a huge tear on up, and we've just been consolidating in these new all-time high areas. Potentially, we could get a sweep of these relative equal highs that we have set up now during the London session, and maybe a TGIF setup where price will retrace down into discount, which I believe I actually have it marked out here, would be somewhere in this area here, which wouldn't be too bad targeting that swing low there. But we'll see. It is consolidating right now, so it could do some kind of power of 3 where we have accumulation. It manipulates above and then distributes lower. So I think that's probably a fair assessment of what could happen. But price is still bullish, so any kind of drop like that would just be a retracement on the higher time frame. What broker is better, Tradeovate or NinjaTrader? Honestly, they're the same company. except just two different platforms. Personally, I prefer Tradovate because you can connect it to TradingView. A lot of people like to use NinjaTrader. But the problem is that I can't use NinjaTrader on my MacBook because they only allow you to install it on PC. So that's why I use Tradovate, because you can use the Tradovate software on a MacBook. What am I talking about? TradeLines Denix? You know what I'm talking about. Trading is in your name. How do you not know? For that long, what was my entry? Which one, the first one or the second one? Because I took two different long plays. If you're talking about the second one, it's essentially the same entry model. Price dips down into this 5-minute fair value gap right there, creating a 1-minute imbalance right there as it sweeps that low, and also to even just mitigate this 1 minute right there. Once price closes above that, which was on this candle right here at 11:13 in the morning, once that happened, I waited for a small retrace back into the IFEG, and then the stop below the low. Same exact entry model here. Price drops into a 5-minute, sweeps a small level of sell side, creates a 1-minute IFEG, and then that would have been the entry originally, but then this one here was just the continuation of this move here. Yo, man, I've been wanting to get into trading and getting to learn all this terminology. Do I find a course or something? You can also look up YouTube videos if you want. There's a lot of information out on YouTube. There's a lot that you have to weed through because there's good and bad videos. I do have a beginner's playlist on my YouTube channel. If you want, DM me and I'll send you the link to that playlist. It's just like 3 videos about just understanding what you're looking at. But if you want to learn more, like if you want an all-encompassing course, I'm biased because I'm going to start a boot camp on the 19th. So I would say join mine. And I will teach you all that I've gained in 4.5 years of knowledge. I've sifted through a lot of information and it took a long time to get to where I am. So I hope that with that boot camp, I'm able to teach some people to shorten that amount of learning curve. So what does break even mean? Yes, break even is moving your stop loss, right? Exactly like Luke said. So here in this instance, if I were to get stopped out here at the low, I would have been in red. I would have been losing because my entry was at this mark right here. What I mean by stop to break even is taking the stop loss, moving it up to this level right here, so that if price were to come back down and stop me out, like close my position, I would end with 0 loss. So break even. Unofficial Monopoly, when I'm going to start my boot camp? I'm actually going to start it on the 19th. On the 19th of November. So in about, a week and a half? If you guys want to sign up, check out the link in my bio. I have it there. I see Jason is in here. Jason's already signed up. He's in the Discord ready to get started with the course or the boot camp itself. It's going to be two classes per week. It's going to be a live Zoom, and so I want it to be interactive so you guys can ask any and all questions as we continue to move through the material. It's going to start off a lot with theoretical, the theoretical piece of it, just talking about strategy, risk management, psychology, and then of course very beginner stuff for people who are brand new to trading. Just understanding what is a candlestick, what is open, high, low, close, open, low, high, close, and then, about brokers, prop firms, understanding futures itself. So all of that. And then we'll get into at the back half of it, we're going to get into the full-on strategy, the components of how I read price action. And then we'll move into some live trading sessions with me during the New York Open session. And then I will challenge the students to create their own daily plans and to be able to put that out there so that we could see what you think at the open. Then we review the trades you've taken, and then we can figure out the pain points of, okay, you got this correct, but you're missing this, and just continue to work in those areas. And included with the mentorship or the boot camp. I keep saying mentorship. It's a boot camp because I'm taking you guys through all of that information. You'll have lifetime access to my Discord where I will always be active. And then you will also have a free 1 hour session privately with me where we can talk about anything at any point in time whenever you want to book that. So like after the boot camp ends, if you want to do it 3 months from now, you're more than welcome to book that with me. So that is what is included in there. Big Money is still hungry, Mad Appetite. Potentially, right? It could be, because honestly, look at the weekly chart. Let's see. That is a massive weekly candle. At this point, though, I would expect some kind of a pullback, at least into this area. I could definitely see us pull back into this area. Then the following week, we drop and then potentially move higher. Or we could just have a deeper decline. But I think tomorrow may be the day that we could get some kind of retracement. Or maybe not. Maybe price wants to continue moving higher. That's totally up to price. All right, let's see. Sorry, you guys are typing a lot of questions. I'm trying to keep up. I want to read everyone's questions, so forgive me if you feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I'm definitely not. Superwasian sent me a rose. Thank you so much. What's up? Hello. What's app? Do you trade? Yes, I do trade. What do I trade? I trade NASDAQ futures. That is pretty much the only thing that I like to trade. I've traded oil and gold before, but I just really love the way NASDAQ moves. So that's why I only stick to that. Steve, yes, it is a live chart. Right now the market is open, but I don't trade the Asian session, so you will not see me take any trades. I went over the trades that I took today. You can see the executions here on the chart. And yeah, it's really to have you guys and ask any questions. Pullbacks are instantly bought. Yeah, I mean, and that's true, Paul. And it'll keep doing that until it won't anymore. Eventually there will be a pullback that won't get bought up and will continue to go lower. So where you have your red green blocks, is there any ways before the volume boost for the pop? Sterling, what do you mean? Where you have your red green blocks, is there any ways before the volume boost for the pop? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What's up, Jason? Calling me a professor. Appreciate that. William, how do you sign up? So go to the link in my bio and you'll find the sign up in there. How many trades did I take today? I only took 2. These 2 right here. Do you trade for income or to grow your account? So I trade prop firms, and so with that, every payout that I get, I take a small portion for myself, and then the rest of it I put it towards a personal account to continue growing that as well. What's good, Ari? No way you took that exact trade. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this setup was beautiful. It was A+, like insanely good. All right, the last 2-3 days, I feel like the price action has been amazing in the market. More like the price action that I'm used to back in June and July when I was really hitting some really awesome trades. August, like mid-August to mid-October, it has been terrible price action. But we survived, and here we are. I think the price action is going to start being good again. Crade, how much would you be charging? It'll be $450. That's the price tag that I have on it, which I think isn't a fair market price. I took a look at a lot of other mentorships / courses, and I wanted to be both competitive and affordable. Yeah, that was a long question. Do you mind just asking it again? I didn't understand what you meant. Do I have a Discord? Evan, I do, but it's only for people who sign up for the mentorship right now. I don't have a Discord where I'm live trading every day or give out any signals or anything. You should mod me, son. You go live when it's slow at work. So easy for me. I might have to do that then, Luke. Honestly. Kiona, what's good, Rye? It's my second student. He's in there too. You just confused yourself. You move stop to break even once trade hits take profit. No. I only move it to break even in some instances when price starts to move above an old high, like in this example, or below, if I'm short, below a previous low. So the reason why I do that is because price could come up into this area here and completely reverse off of that. So I want to make sure that I protect myself. Like if price hits up here and then it comes right back down to my break even, there's a small likelihood that it'll bounce and continue going higher. You want to protect yourself because why? I want to see strong candles push through these old highs to continue moving on higher, exactly like how this one did. And then exactly how this one did too. Really, once price closed above here, I could have moved my stop to break even because it now displaced over this previous high to continue having a bullish market structure like this. You can see the structure there, right? We pull that out from where it is. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That is obviously bullish market structure. We've got higher highs and higher lows. Tomorrow, what's the best way to spot a fake out to the upside and not get trapped? V, that's a great question. So the way I usually try not to get trapped by those fake outs like you're mentioning is I wait for higher time frame confirmation. So like on the 15-minute time frame, for example, there's not really a good example here. Trying to see. No, maybe not there. On the 5-minute, yeah, price consolidated so heavy it didn't really cause that many imbalances to form. Yeah, let's go back to the 15-minute. So here, people might want to go short, right? In this instance. And what I like to look for are imbalances in price. And the only one that sticks out is this very small 15-minute imbalance that price has been trading into and rejecting off of these last two 15-minute candles. Now, when we have price move on up so high like this, I'm not trying to short anything like up here until we get an imbalance that becomes invalidated. And what do I mean by that? Let's actually move to the NQ chart because I have so many markings on there. What I mean by that is when price starts to move on up like this and we create a 15-minute imbalance, which is the one that I like to use the most. Price is moving on up here, and sometimes what price will do is it'll come down here and use this as support, come back on up, and then end up creating a lower high. Okay, a lot of traders, once they see this big move down, they're gonna want to start going short in this area, and then you get those people who usually say like, oh, I entered in short and now they're stop hunting me because they came and took out my stop. Well, no, you chased price. You chased on this move down. So when price does this, creates a lower high, that's my first clue that, okay, maybe we don't want to continue moving higher. So ignore this price action. I'm giving you a scenario. Price comes and it creates a lower high. Then what price will do is it'll come down and close below this 15-minute imbalance. This right here is my confirmation to look for a short setup on the 1-minute time frame. Now, price isn't linear that it's just going to keep moving like this. It's not going to be a straight shot down. You're going to get your second wave of people who are going to want to short at this area, and then price starts to move back on up because it needs to breathe. People are going to take profit. Now, on this move back on up, right here, in this 15-minute price leg, on the 1-minute time frame, it'll probably look something like this, right? On that retracement back up, something like this, move on up, and then it'll do this. Okay? Then this price leg that'll start forming will be the 15-minute price leg moving down. So my entry would be somewhere here. When we have on this move on up, which is this retracement, a 1-minute bullish imbalance that gets invalidated. So let's say the price closed below here. I'm entering here with my stop above the latest swing high and then targeting the first internal swing low or external swing low, which would be this one, and then the draw on liquidity, which could be further down. Now, could you say that I'm being late to to the move, I guess, whatever you like to think, but I like to be a little more conservative in my approach. There are ways and methods to get in up here. You could have high conviction and be getting in at the retracement here, but I really like to see that a 15-minute imbalance does not hold. And if that's the case, then I will be more confident in taking a short and I won't be part of this fake out. Now, if price comes and it creates this move down, and then maybe here there's a 5-minute bearish imbalance. If price does something like this instead, all right, let's say on this move down, it created a 5-minute bearish imbalance and then bounces off of this 15-minute. Once price comes back on up and closes above this 5-minute, price will then do this. And then in here, there will be a 1-minute bearish imbalance to then get invalidated. And then you can continue catching the move on up. And that's how I avoid these fake outs. I monitor the 5, the 15, and the 1 hour just to see where is price closing. Is it respecting those areas of support or disrespecting it? And the same thing with areas of resistance, which are those imbalances. Those are the only things that I use. So hopefully that makes sense. I know I went through a lot, so please ask any questions. Let's see. The platform that I trade on, I use Tradevate. Nari, you asked Apex or Top Step. I use Apex and my funded futures. Ari, you pass evaluations, but every time you take a trade on your PA, it goes against you every time. You just don't get it. Trust me, I didn't get it either. It used to happen to me all the time until I adjusted my strategy to go through with what I just described right now. Yee Chris, how do I join? Check out the link in my bio. That you'll be able to find the bootcamp right there. Okay, once you go there, go to the first link. Actually, I'll show you guys. Pretty sure I have it here. Hold on one second. Let me look it up. So right here on my link tree, it is the first link right there. Sign up for the bootcamp. Classes begin 11/19. So if you go on my link tree, that's the link in my bio, you'll have access to my YouTube channel. You'll be able to see my Instagram, where it's pretty much the same thing as I post here on TikTok, my Twitter account, and of course my TikTok page as well. So here is where you'll be able to sign up for that bootcamp if you are interested. Let's see. Let's keep going down the list. Wow, I have a lot of questions. I love it though. What about taxes? Lil Diabetes. So because I use prop firms, they tax me with they give me a 1099 form, which I then report that to the IRS, and it is just considered regular income. On my personal account though, the gains on that are they are done as a what's it called? 60% of the total profit is taxed as long-term capital gains, and 40% of it is taxed as short-term capital gains. So it's very different on a personal account versus doing a prop firm account. It is so worth the price. Thank you, Jason. How long is the Discord membership after you join with the one-time payment? It's lifetime. You'll never leave the Discord after that. And then I'll have a separate channel for those who have quote unquote graduated from the bootcamp, so that way you guys can all talk. And then if there's a new wave of students who come in, you guys will still have access to it, and you guys would be more than welcome to join the next round of mentorship. That's totally up to you. You guys will have access to this current one and every future mentorship going forward. What's your opinions on the futures market after Trump's election? Honestly, I think for now, price is bullish, right? I don't think the fact that Trump is in office is going to make it any different, other than, look, before we got even close to the elections back in August, I already knew that we were going to hit all-time highs. Really, the elections were just a catalyst to move higher. The market is in a bullish scenario. We're going to see what next year brings, and so that should be interesting, just because of the quarterly theory cycles. Next year, 2026 will be the year that'll be very interesting. So keep an eye on that year if something happens. I'm just gonna say that. All right. But I think overall the market's gonna finally, now that the elections are over, the price action should be a lot cleaner. How many contracts do I trade at a time? So it depends on each specific setup. So I believe on this one here, because the stop size was only 72 ticks, I traded 7 contracts. I wanted to only risk $250 per trade. And then this one, the stop was 89 ticks, so I think I only took 5 contracts. So it depends on how big the stop loss size is. I'm new to this ICT strategy. What's the best way to understand it? All I'm hearing is FEG or an IFEG like that. Go to my YouTube channel. I post my recaps there with a lot of detail, pretty much how I'm doing it right now. And a lot of people say a lot of good things about it. It's essentially my YouTube channel is my own personal journal. And so I post that really for myself, but I give a lot of information in there too, so you guys can learn from that. Nice. Rise requesting his payout next week. Let's go. W's in the chat for Rye. Evan, do I live stream anywhere? No, I do not. I used to, but not anymore. I didn't like it. I used to do it here on TikTok, but people are so mean. I'll tell you that. People are so mean. Let's go. Someone else got their payout. Nice. Yeah, it is for real the top 5%. A lot of people do not make it to even one payout. I was giving Luke the statistics about it. I think like, what was it, Luke? Like 10% of people only pass an evaluation account. And of those 10%, 2% only get a payout. So that's crazy. If you get a payout, that's awesome. That is awesome. JBFX, that's a bearish breaker. Yeah. So I personally don't use order blocks anymore in my strategy. I do not use them anymore. I'm solely focused on fair value gaps. I used to use them, but I mean, honestly, there's so many different entry models that you could take in this. There's a bearish breaker. There more than likely will be the change in state of delivery. There's an IFEG. It's really up to you and what you see better in the market. Can I chart Bitcoin 5-minute? Sure. So you want me to see what's on the 5-minute right now? Well, obviously the price is bearish in the short term, but it's really just a retracement of some sort here on the 4-hour. I see this 4-hour imbalance where price dipped into and it started to react out of it. The weekly, yeah, that was such an obvious that was going to hit that all-time high too. My first target was 70,000 on Bitcoin. And then this was considered low resistance liquidity, so it obviously took all of that very easily. On the daily, I mean, it's going to have a pullback soon. And I would say that I would only be leaning bearish on Bitcoin or short-term bearish, if we get a 4-hour close below $75,183. Once we get a 4-hour close below that, then my first price target on Bitcoin would be 72,723, and then the reaction here will be very important. It could come down into this area, find some level of support, and then continue moving on higher. But the 5-minute chart, let's take a look at the 15 right now. So on the 15, the one thing that I'm noticing is that we are respecting that bearish imbalance right there. Price came on up, starts to move on down. It is obviously trying to see where it wants to go next. If it does want to hit this low right there, if it wants to continue moving lower, I want to see a very strong displacement move below this. But as of right now, it's kind of just stalling in place. It's not really doing much. It does have a bearish kind of structure. It's creating lower highs, lower lows. But this is the 15-minute. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. So the one thing I would say that I do still think this is going to drop a little more is because we have a bullish 5-minute fair value gap right there. Price then closes below that, so it could potentially move down lower. But if price comes on up and displaces above this, then your first target here on the 5-minute chart would be this swing high, 76,188. But I would not be trading Bitcoin at this time. I don't know when it's super volatile. You know, I would expect New York Open, but I never trade it, so I wouldn't be able to tell you on that. Hey man, do you ever take trades that have an IFEG with an FEG overlapping it? No, but that would be considered a balanced price range, a BPR. Sometimes my trades have that, but I don't specifically look for that. And I only notice it after the fact. So this is the 5 minute. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. Let's see if my entry had it. So this one did. So here is a bearish fair value gap, and then here is a bullish fair value gap, and this is the BPR right there. This zone right there is the balanced price range. You can do that if you want, and it's obviously, you know, it does work, and it's interesting how it comes, it hits the 50% mark of it, and then bounces right out of that. So very nice. If you want to use that, you can totally use that. I don't. So like in this instance, there wasn't a BPR. It was just really only an IFEG. There was no bullish fair value gap created out of it. So there was no BPR in this first one, but there was a BPR created in this one. So that's why I'm not really looking for it. Carlitos Way, how much is the training, bro? It's $450 one-time fee. And then you'll have full access to the Discord for life. And oh yeah, he even said, yeah, it's a BPR. So yeah, like you'll have full access to the Discord too. Oh man, it just jumped so much. Let's see. Yeah, it's a BPR. I knew that. Is this day trading? Yes, it is day trading. I do only day trading. I don't swing trade often. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Liquidity, FEG, IFEG, and quarterly theory. Yes, that is all I use. I will get my first payout tomorrow as long as I don't give everything I made in the last week back. Yeah, so V, be careful with that because that does totally happen a lot. But you can definitely do it. Don't sweat it. If you take a losing trade, maybe walk away because I feel like you're putting some pressure on yourself. So, but you know yourself, right? For me, that's what I did. I was like, oh man, tomorrow I can request a payout if I make just $100 more, and then I blew the account. Because I lost 100, and then I was like, nah, there's no way. Now I have to make $200. Oh, that's easy. I went heavier in size, and then I lost more, and then I lost more and more and more, and I overtraded, and I blew the account. So just be mindful of that. All right, your psychology is very important. It's been a while since I've done that, right? But it definitely does happen. So be careful. Fridays are notorious for weird price action. Friday, we may not even get a lot of movement, to be completely honest. It could be a consolidation day. What is quarterly theory and how do you use it? Theo, that's a great question. Quarterly theory is the time aspect in my strategy. So I use the quarterly cycles. And if you, like I said, you can go to my YouTube channel. I explain how I use them in the recaps. But really what I'm looking for is the day is essentially split up into 4 quarters. And then each of those quarters can then be split into further 4 quarters. So the New York AM session starts from 6 to 12. That is the third quarter of the day. And then as you can see, these boxes here are the specific quarters. And then within each one, there is sub quarters. And I use them to gauge when I will be taking a trade, and how price moves in within each one also gives me a gauge of how the next quarter will behave. So Q1 is typically accumulation. Q2 will be manipulation in one direction, and then Q3 will be distribution, and Q4 will just be a continuation of whatever happened in Q3 or a complete reversal of what happened in Q3. So here's a good example, right? Price accumulated here, it was just kind of choppy for a bit, manipulated on higher, distributed lower in Q3. Look at exactly the time that it happened too, at 8:15, which is the start of Q3 of the micro cycle. Then distributes lower, then Q4 is the reversal of what happened in Q3. Sometimes it's very nice like that. So I'm not trading solely like that, but it's just interesting to note. Sometimes it does respect it well, other times it does not. Like in this instance, we accumulated Q1, it looks like manipulation higher, but we didn't distribute lower, we just continued. And then Q4 just accumulated again. So it really I'm looking for what times I'm taking trades. So I don't take trades here in Q1 and Q2 ever. All right, it'll be, if I take something in Q2, it's the 50% mark forward, with any other Q2s as well. Here I did take it, but this was because I was expecting it to be a continuation for the rest of the day. So this blue shade is Q4. And then here, the second trade that I took was nearing the end of Q2. So I was expecting a move within Q3 and Q4. You see how Q2 kind of has like no direction. It's chopping around.
Q3 then finally has a nice move on up. Q4 as well has the continuation. And then funny enough, right when 12 o'clock hits, we drop and then accumulate again. And then, yeah, it just keeps doing that. So that in a nutshell, that's really what it is. What are we expecting for tomorrow on NQ? I think we might get a pullback on it soon, but to how much, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You just joined, bro. You're taking that step, and I pray that I get to see what I'm doing wrong and whatnot. Nice. Awesome, Ari. Thanks for joining. I'll take a look at the Discord once I'm off the live, and then, thank you for trusting me in doing this. This is awesome. Growing the family. I love it. All my 3 trades I made today had BPR today. Been trying to trade those more often. Won all 3 trades. Nice. Yeah, Hunter, if that's something that you see better, go for it. Go for it, okay? If that is what you notice easier in the market. That's why I don't trade order blocks. I see fair value gaps much easier. Can you go through Euro USD by any chance whenever you get a moment? Of course. Let's go to the 4 hour. So now, yeah, look at this. Euro USD pumped. And we're just hanging out in this 4 hour imbalance. And it looks like it wants to reject it. Now, how will I know if it really will reject it? If we get a 4 hour close below this level at 1.07714. Once we get that 4 hour close, then yeah, it'll be starting to come on down. The only other area where we could find some small support would be here, but I highly kind of doubt that it will at that point, just because the overall structure is now bearish with this massive drop, and then just a small retracement, and now it wants to reject. There was something else. I think GBP USD, was that the one that someone asked for yesterday? Yes. Wow, look at that. If you were on my live last night, I told you guys here that I wanted to see price move on up into this buy side level and then stop here. Now I think it's gonna move lower. Yeah, see, it was gonna do something like this, move on up into this OTE area, take out this buy side level, and now I think we're gonna drop lower, targeting that 1.27984 level. When would that get invalidated for me though? Would be if we get a 4 hour close above this. It'll further be validated if we get a 4 hour close below that. All right, it'll make me more confident that yes, we should be entering shorts, targeting at least the first swing low here, and then beyond that. So beautiful. Love to see when that happens. Let's see. Don't need any more already. Hit the goal. Just wanted to end the week before I pay out. Nah, V, take that payout, man. Pay the trader. What good is having the money in your account if you're not going to use it? Nah, take the payout, man. Take the payout. Don't do that. Putting my life in your hands, man. No pressure, right, Ari? No pressure. I think we're going to do good. We're going to do good, man. That's right, Luke. Put your life in God, son, not Koi. Let's see. How do you analyze the chart? So I start off on the 4 hour time frame. What is even your name? It just shows up as @ Yeah, so I start off on the 4 hour time frame always. If you, like I said, check out my YouTube channel, you'll see how I do that. Every single day, I always start on the 4 hours. Since I'm a day trader, 4 hours is really the highest that I go. And then drop down to the 1 hour. Essentially what I'm doing here, right? This is what I'm doing right now. Like, this is how I would analyze it. This candle, once the market's about to open up for New York session, I want to see where this candle closes. If this candle is going to close below this or above this. If it does that, then I know what direction I'm going to trade in, because more often than not, if the price comes up here, it'll retrace at the next candle and then move on higher. So then I want to get in somewhere here. Just because now the order flow is bullish, I think it has a strong potential to come up here. But if you take the payout, you have less room for the account getting canned. That's why you also don't want to take too much out, right? You want to take out just enough. I've done that too, though. I'm not gonna lie, I've done that too, where I take out a huge amount from the account because I just want my money so bad. But I don't do that anymore, obviously. Just keep your risk management is right. Ari with the God first always. That's a W, man. That's so true. So true, so true. Wow, it's been very active tonight, guys. Thank you so much for all the questions. I love that. I love being asked. I think someone asked me for VTI. Are you still there? I'm totally lost track of it. I think you were at the beginning of the stream. But I'll do it anyway in case you want to look back on my YouTube. I might post this on YouTube. Do you guys want me to post this live on YouTube? Just drop a W in the chat and I will do that for you guys. If one person does W, then I will definitely upload it. If not, then I won't bother to do it. So VTI, yes, very bullish. Very, very bullish. There you go. We got 2 W's. All right, I will definitely upload this stream later tonight. We had this weekly imbalance. Price moves down, then starts to drop on up. Let's see. What did you say? M reversal. All right, can you go all day and not take a trade because there wasn't one? More often than not, I tend to find a trade. Even if it's just a small scalp, I tend to find a trade every day. Sometimes I wait for a while. I think there was one day where I didn't take a trade because I could not find something in the morning session. I don't remember what day that was, but I do remember having a day like that. All right, so price moves down into this weekly imbalance, has a very strong rejection or bounce off of that. Was there news? It looks like there probably was news or something. Oh, this is a ETF. Okay. So yeah, price moves on up, leaving behind a lot of imbalances here. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. So if price will eventually retrace, I think it'll find some level of support within this zone here, especially because I bet you on the 1 hour there's probably some kind of swing low. Yep. There is a 1 hour swing low in here, so there is a level of sell side liquidity within that. So it could come down, tap into that, and then bounce from there to move on higher. So bullish on VTI, but you don't want to be buying up here. You want to look for a retracement and then a move higher. It's really that simple, folks. Doesn't really have to be that complicated to read price action. I know some people use some super complex kind of ways to view the market, but for me, this keeping it as simple as possible has helped a lot. If Wendy's gets rid of the $5 biggie back, could it affect the market? Absolutely. User knows. He said absolutely too. If I don't get mod, will it affect my trading tomorrow? I don't know. I'm going to have to do that after the stream though. We'll see. I'll definitely make you mod though. You're always very active, Luke. I trust you. All right. We're coming up on that hour mark almost. It's been 50 minutes and it's getting a little late for me here. I'm on the East Coast, so it's almost 11 o'clock at night. The Krabby Patty meal single-handedly brought back this economy from the ashes. That's a good one. Honestly, I have not had one. Is it any good? Is it any good, guys? All right. So I think I'm going to end the stream in a couple of minutes. If you guys have any last minute questions, please feel free to drop it in the chat. But in the meantime, thank you so much, guys, for joining the stream tonight. And, just to give you guys a little more background on myself, I've been trading for 4.5 years. Out of those 4.5 years, I've been consistently profitable for 1.5 years. I go live here about at a minimum 2 times a week, just to review the trades that I take daily, give a space for new traders here on TikTok to be able to ask any and all questions. And so, I know that there's a lot of struggles out there. I know people will find other content creators who may not know what they're talking about. I found a lot of that in my journey, so I try to be at least some kind of beacon of light for you guys if you stumble upon my stream. I try to be as honest as I can. I try to be as transparent as I can with my trading, and because I want to show you guys the reality of it, right? I'm not driving a luxury car. I'm not driving a Lamborghini. I'm not living in a mansion. I'm a regular guy, like all of you in the chat. I'm 30 years old. I live a pretty normal lifestyle. I still work a 9 to 5, and I use trading as a means to supplement my 9 to 5 income. And so that is the type of reality that comes with someone who's really just trying to use day trading as a vehicle to fund other businesses, to fund other projects and things of that nature. So that's why I try to be as transparent as I can. The goal obviously would be to have it be full time. And that is my goal for next year. God willing, that is my goal for next year. So thank you guys for joining the live. You know, like I said, go to my Linktree. You'll be able to find all of my other links there. You'll have my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Twitter, and of course the TikTok. Like I mentioned before, I am hosting a boot camp coming up on the 19th of November, so that'll be available. You guys can click on this. It'll take you to the WAP store. If you don't want to do the boot camp, but you just really want to have a one-on-one with me, I do offer one-on-one sessions as well, if that is something that you'd like. Here, this video, the next one down below, is just how to get the same custom charts that I have on my screen, which will give you all of the settings to how to get the quarterly theory cycles, and then also how to get this little watermark up here that a lot of people always ask me about. So that is on there as well. And then if you wanted to see what my October 2024 P&L looked like, all right, I'll definitely lead us in prayer at the end, guys. Don't worry. What my October 24 P&L looks like I said, I try to be as transparent as possible, but I don't really like to flaunt that, like the gains, because number one, they're not really that extravagant. Number two, I really want you guys to learn and focus on reading price action rather than how much money I'm making. Below that, I have these two prop firms that I have, My Funded Futures and Apex. Those are the two preferred ones that I like to advocate for. And if you like to trade options and shares, my preferred is Webull. Now, Webull also does offer personal accounts for futures if that is something that interests you too. And so just a quick insert on the bootcamp. Like I said, it starts November 19th. We're going to go over through all of the trading basics. If you are completely new to trading and if you want to learn it, this is for you. If you're someone who has experience in the markets already, but you don't really know of a good strategy to hone in on yet, this is also for you. If you are already an ICT trader and need help refining the strategies that you have now, or want to see how I view that market, this is also for you. Okay, with the bootcamp, you'll have access to the Discord, where I will drop the Zoom meetings that we'll have twice a week, and we'll be able to go through everything. Well, it's from a whole A to Z bootcamp. So join that if that is something that interests you. You don't have to join it if you don't want to. No skin off my bones. I'm just offering it because I've gotten a lot of DMs about it. So I figured, why not? If people want it, then I shall give it. Can you look at SLRN? Curious how you'd break it down. Sure. If it's a penny stock, yeah, it's a penny stock. Those typically are not very good at price action, but if you want SLRN to move any higher, you want to have a weekly close above $6.30. Until then, you know, it's kind of in this middle ground right now where it's consolidating. If we get a weekly close below here at 550, then it's going to move lower. The first price target, if it does move lower, is this 448. Now that's a weekly close, right? Let's take a look at the daily. Daily, we are not securing above this level. Although, I keep pressing the wrong button. Although the day here opened up here, it closed down here. I need to see a daily close above this level to feel confident that it wants to move higher. But until then, it's still just in this consolidation zone. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Pretty much the same thing, right? Price close now below that imbalance. So I do think it wants to retrace, potentially looking for this area. But like I said, 550, if we get a weekly close below that, it could continue moving on lower. So only good strategy is to full port and prayer, right? All right, guys. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And I will always end the stream with this little message at the end where you guys could have been anywhere else tonight, but you guys chose to stay to the very end of my stream. And it's to hear this message that God loves you and he wants to seek an honest and close relationship with you. He sees the struggles that you face every single day and wants to walk with you, alongside you through these pains in this world, because it's a hard life. It is. All right. So I just wanted you guys to know that. And the people want me to close in prayer. I will definitely do that if you guys are interested in that. If you guys don't want to stick around to it, totally fine. But let's just get into it. Dear God, we are just so grateful, Lord, for just this time here on live. Thank you for all the beautiful people that you have brought here to listen to what you have given me in knowledge so that I can spread to them. I pray, Lord, that, this knowledge helps them, that they go forth and are able to make wise decisions in the market, all for your glory, of course, nothing for our own personal gain. We put you at the center of our lives in our trading, and I just pray for a beautiful night's rest for everyone here tonight, that we wake up taking another breath of this beautiful world that you've created for us. And we're just so grateful, God, again, just for the amazing things that we've experienced today. And we just pray for our families to be safe. I pray for all of you in the chat as well. I pray, God, that you please just bless each and every one of these people here. We know that you love us. We are so grateful for your presence among us, and we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, everybody. Thank you so much again. You guys are awesome, and I hope you guys have a great night, and I will catch you all tomorrow, guys. Peace.